You've saved well, maybe across multiple accounts, brokerage accounts, 401ks, IRAs, maybe you have multiple advisors helping you, but you're nearing retirement and you're realizing, I've got this stack of statements, but I don't feel like I have a plan. If that's you, this video is for you. Because what that tells me after years of talking to hundreds and hundreds of families, you are the uncertain planner. The personality type that has done a tremendously great job at gathering assets. They've gone to educational events. Maybe they've gone to dinner events. They've done webinars. They've gone to see documentaries. They've saved in an IRA. They've saved in a 401k. They have a Roth. They have an HSA. They've got 2 advisors, 3 advisors. And at the back of their mind, they're still asking themselves the question, how do I take everything I have and turn it into everything I need? They're at this stage of life where they've realized I'm no longer going to be accumulating and adding to my portfolio. I need to actually start spending this money. And they're starting to ask the questions like, which account should I draw from first? How long will that money last? Will it last until I turn 105? Will it last until I turn 65? Or what are the taxes going to be? And how do I fix that? This is a person who's looking for a plan, because they feel confident they've got good investments. They've watched their accounts grow. They've got great average rates of return, but they know that what got them here may not get them there, and they're eager for clarity. And in my opinion, this person is usually the most frozen with what I call analysis paralysis or just fear, because they understand how crucial it is to get this right, because they've been planning for it for 20 or 30 or 40 years. So mentally and emotionally, they are invested. They just haven't found the resource to bring it all together and give them a plan that gives them the confidence they deserve to go out and enjoy the retirement they've earned. And I've said this for years, financial planning is what we do, but the outcome of our work is just that. We give clients the clarity they need to have the confidence they deserve to enjoy the retirement that they've earned. And that comes through a very simple process, which we like to call the retire forward process. And what the retire forward process does, especially for the uncertain planner, is helps them see the full picture. Because what we've noticed over the years, it's really common, guys. Someone goes to work at a company, they've got a 401k there, and let's say that they work for that firm or that company for, 10 years. And then they leave, they go to another company. So they've got a stray 401k out in the distance. Now they have a new one. And then they've got that one for a little while. They roll it into another one. And then they've got a new job. They roll everything into that one. And what's happened is all of their accounts, all of their investments have been viewed as one big pot. And that works really well during that accumulation stage, right? As we're climbing up the mountain, so to speak. But this next stage of life where we have to turn our income off and our assets become our income, the rules change. The strategy needs to change. The tools we use change. And more importantly, the risks that we faced in our 30s and our 40s and our 50s, those risks change. And the uncertain planner, I think, is aware of that. I think they are probably the most aware of all the personality types of just what it means and what it takes to truly retire with confidence. And what's been lacking is that structure that takes all of the assets and organizes them into a written plan for retirement. One that helps them understand, what am I going to do for income? How do we have clarity and model out, where should we draw from first? How reliable is it? How long will it last? Will the income be as strong for both me and my spouse if I'm gone? Or will my spouse have a pay cut if I'm gone? They understand that the tax conversation needs to be addressed because that'll impact how much money we keep versus how much money we hand out to Uncle Sam. They understand that healthcare is a massive concern in retirement, and it's a huge, huge red flag that most advisors are not paying attention to. They also understand that taxes don't just go away when we retire. Healthcare doesn't go down when we retire. Investment volatility doesn't change when we retire. Legacy needs for our kids or grandkids or whatever it might be don't go away, right? All of these things come together. So the uncertain planner, what I've noticed over the years is the uncertain planner is craving a cohesive plan of attack. They want to know, if I do X, how does that impact Y? And does that bring me closer to or further away from my goal? And they're craving, they're dying for a complete picture where they can look at a written plan and say, okay, I know what I have. I know how it works. They've done a tremendous job of saving. They've done a tremendous job of accumulating, but they need a strategy now that looks at all the pieces of the puzzle and makes a clear picture. And here's a fun thing that I've loved to do with these types of personalities. With the uncertain planner, I've always asked them, imagine that you are 85 or 90 years old and you're looking backwards on your retirement, right? Let's say you retired at 65, you're now 90. So you've had 25 amazing years and you had a complete, cohesive, and comprehensive plan for retirement. A plan that looked at taxes, investments, income, healthcare, and legacy. So a true 5 of 5 plan to retire. And you had that plan and you worked that plan and that plan worked for you. What did it give you? What did you get to do in retirement? Who did you spend the time with? What did you spend the time doing? What did it mean for your kids and grandkids or charities or organizations that you want to leave a legacy to? What did it mean to your overall confidence and emotional well-being in retirement? What did you get to enjoy? And what did you get to do? And what did that plan give you by having clarity? And the fun part with the uncertain planner is that they understand all these different pieces, right? They understand how they all connect. I think what happens for them is that no one has ever asked them to stop, pause, and think, my money is a tool. What job am I hiring it to do? And having the clarity on the end result helps them piece it all together. And I've often described it as a puzzle. If someone comes into a firm like Momentum Wealth and says, hey, I want to retire, and that's the only detail we have. We don't know what they're working with, their age, when they want to retire, health concerns, priorities, goals, etc. Well, we could maybe help them, but man, it'd be tough because there's a lot of details that are missing. But when someone comes in and says, I'm 65 years old, I want to retire in 2 years. In the first 10 years of my retirement, I want to take 2 to 3 vacations with my spouse, and at least one of those needs to be with my kids and grandkids. At the age of, let's say, 75 or 77, I expect to start to slow down, so my expenses will decrease. And I want to spend those years doing XYZ service work for my church or charities I believe in, whatever it might be. That person has painted a clear picture of what they want and what they need. And it is 10 times easier to analyze their world and say, okay, great. We know what the picture is supposed to look like. Let's go out and find the puzzle pieces that turn us into a complete picture. That is what the uncertain planner is craving. They can see it in their mind. They just don't know how to get it out. They don't know how to put it all together. And it's not their fault. No one has taken the time during their 20 or 30 or 40 years of accumulation and said, hey, at some point, this money is going to fund your retirement. What is it going to look like? We need to do more than just grow our money. We need to actually give it a purpose. And that's what the uncertain planner is lacking. So if this resonates with you, if you feel like you're the personality type where you've done a good job of accumulating different assets and you have a stack of investments but no plan, I encourage you, subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment below on this video, or more importantly, reach out to us. Let's have a conversation and see how we can help using our Retire Forward process, go from an uncertain planner to a certain and confident retiree who's enjoying all the hard work that they put into their world and giving themselves a plan to retire with the confidence they deserve. Look forward to having the conversation. You're managing your own portfolio and you're doing a good job, but you're smart enough to realize that you don't know everything. In fact, one of the phrases I hear from this personality type is, I'm aware of what I don't know. If that sounds like you, this video is for you. Good news. We just found out you're the confident but curious.